not a circus clown. I know what you're thinking, Greg, I never thought that you were. Nevertheless, whenever I start juggling, people have the irrepressible urge to go. Now, I'm not a clown, nor do I have any desire to be one. But if that's true, why do I juggle? 3 words: the Zucchini Brothers. I'm sure they hardly need an introduction, but I'll give you a little background anyway. I was about 8 years old, attending a local Renaissance fair with my family. There were turkey legs the size of your arms, an iron-rattling jousting tournament, and of course, a juggling act. And these Zucchini Brothers could juggle. They're the pinnacle of squash-based fraternal Renaissance fair juggling acts. That's saying something. I've been waiting for years to see if my brother would learn how to juggle so we could challenge the title in what I consider to be the missing Olympic sport. My brother was even known as Zucchini Boy growing up because he was in charge of picking zucchini from the garden. I, in case you're wondering, was Tomato Boy. However, tomatoes and juggling acts are not known to make long-lasting partnerships, for obvious reasons. While the Zucchini Brothers inspired, I still had to go through the painstaking process of learning how to juggle. Of course, I couldn't start with 1 ball, I had to start with 3. It did not last long. But eventually I made it from 1 ball to 2 to 3. Pretty much out of sheer persistence and hard work. But I found that once I was able to juggle 3 balls, my ambition hadn't waned. So I started throwing in tricks. Under the leg, around the back, juggling in a circle. Pretty soon there were no more tricks left to be made. It was the king of juggling. Of course, that's until you see any actual professionals. I was at a 4-year-old's birthday party and there was a clown there who started juggling. She did the usual things. She caught it that time. Meanwhile, I was sitting there saying, yeah, I can do that. Then she pulled out a 4th ball and kept juggling, no problem. At that point, I was forced to say, yeah, she's all right. Meanwhile, I knew I needed to do something different if I were to advance as a juggler. And my grandparents delivered. That's right, they somehow didn't get me juggling clubs, which, if you aren't familiar, are essentially bowling pin type instruments that you throw in the air and rotate when you juggle them. And I went for it. Not right away. I let them sit in my closet for a few years to let them know that I could juggle if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. Then in high school, I signed up for the talent show with the same reckless abandon let me sign up for the speech contest. And anyone who calls himself a juggler has to be able to juggle clubs. So I went out with renewed vigor. Alas, there was a setback. My mother had this unreasonable rule about throwing things in the house, which I'd always somehow eluded when I was throwing harmless bags of sand. When I was upgrading to instruments that I could literally clog intruders with, somehow a new standard applied and I had to be careful in the house. Thus relegated to my backyard, which in California consisted entirely of pool and pavement, I had to make do. Unfortunately, the most common sound that a passing bird might have heard wasn't the pleasing rhythm of well-controlled clubs dancing across my palms, but a jarring splash. Time after time, I'd fish the clubs out of the pool, dry them off, give it another go. But eventually I could do it. And although that means I can also juggle knives, I wasn't sure about the policies this building and throwing around sharp objects. And that was high school. In the intervening years, I can't say much progress has been made. And that's disappointing because with practice, pretty much anyone can learn to juggle 3 balls. It's only the truly elite of the greater DC area microbiologist jugglers who can handle 4. So about 6 months ago, I decided to give it a shot. And I had one main advantage over my previous attempts and failures to juggle 4. Sure, I was older, wiser in the ways of the world. More importantly, I now exist in the world with YouTube. So all I do is sit there, watch someone juggle 4 online, and try to mimic it. I put in an hour a day of practice. Just 2 weeks and an annoyed wife later, I can do it. Just like that. Upon learning that I know how to juggle, sometimes people ask me what I get out of it. Does it relieve stress, they ask me? I tell them no, it's not what it's for. To me, juggling isn't a social activity, or really even a hobby. To me, it's more like a superpower. It's something to be carried around with you and called upon, only when the situation demands it. Such as when you're bored, or even to amuse a small child. You may be surprised to hear that at this point, I actually know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, nice story. But do you think you can juggle 5? To respond, we'll let you in on something. Juggling is like giving a speech. YouTube can only take you so far.